Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in for another video. Today we're going to be talking about the Barracuda. Originally this was like a metallic blue Barracuda with a white vinyl top, and it was a 318 car and it was automatic. One thing is I've been really thinking about converting the car to a manual transmission car, but I wasn't 100% sure I was going to go through it. So when I did put the floor pan, I put all the brackets, everything originally back the way it was. Either way guys, I made up my mind now. I already ordered the 4-speed hump, and now it's going to be time to actually start looking at the car, really thinking about where I'm going to be putting that 4-speed hump. Another thing is that I already have the 4-speed with me, so I'm not sure if I showed you guys, but here it is. We have the 4-speed with the original Her shifter just chilling over here, ready to be used. And the shifter is in okay shape. It does need some polishing, but everything's here. It's not an 18 spline 4-speed, it's a 23 spline 4-speed, so it's not the heavy duty version, but it has been reinforced internally, so it can handle some power. You know, I really thought about it. I know it's going to be more money I'm going to have to spend on this car to get it done. For example, the column shifter, the steering column needs to be replaced. 1970 to 71 Barracudas, they have a specific steering column for manual transmission, so I'm gonna have to locate that. Unfortunately, the car show that I usually go to was canceled this year, so all those goodies that I was able to locate over there at Van Nuys was canceled, so I'm gonna have to be searching another location to find it. The other thing is I'm gonna have to switch to the 3-pedal for the 4-speed, the clutch, the brake, and the gas. So I do have the gas pedal, I don't think that's an issue, but the brake and the clutch, I'm gonna have to get another bracket for that, and the actual original brake and clutch pedal. So that's another cost we're gonna have, but the floor pan's completely done and it looks amazing. Everything's completely done. But anyways guys, let's go ahead and check out this 4-speed hump that I ordered. Let's go ahead and take out this. This is an authentic restoration part, so you got this nice little sticker right there. What does it say? 4-speed hump with console. That's exactly what I wanted. I do want a console car. This thing looks freaking awesome. There's no dents, it's in great shape, so this is ready to go. But the thing is now, all that work that I did on the floor pan, for at least for this front section, where this is going to be sitting, I'm going to have to cut back off. So this is going to sit around here. And obviously, this is directly in the way now. So I'm gonna have to chop this off and put this 4-speed hump on. All right guys, you gotta take a look at this. Look how much I actually had to cut out to make room for this 4-speed. Had to notch this out a little bit. Had to be real careful. I was trying to replicate the original cut as best I could, and I think it came out pretty well. So pretty much everything's ready. But man, it really did hurt having to cut this. All right guys, so we finally put some well-through primer on this panel, so everything looks really good. It's an even coat. And I did the same to the floor pan. So now where the 4-speed hump's gonna go, we have a nice even coat of the well-through primer, and it's already been sitting for a few minutes, so it's ready to go. Let's go ahead and put this on. This will be the last time this panel is removed. So get all these clevo clips back in, and now we're ready to go. Let's go ahead and grab this welder and start welding this. And with that guys, this 4-speed hump's fully welded. Everything looks really good. I did a lot of stitch welding, a lot of spot welding. It was recommended that you do some stitch welding along with the spot welds to make sure everything's nice and strong. So I went ahead and did that. You guys can see, there's a little bit of cleanup to do. Everything looks really good. So just a little bit more welding, like every 3 or 4 inches, put a little seam, and that should be it for the floor pan. I really can't wait to get that done, so go ahead and paint this because it's gonna look really nice once I clean it up. This is where I've been at with the Barracuda. Obviously, this isn't a real Cuda. This is a Barracuda. The Cuda is a more performance option variant of this car, which has higher horsepower engines and so on, other options. So this is a basic Barracuda, and it's original a 318 car. That's why it says Barracuda here. If it was a Cuda, it would just have the tag on the rear tail light panel right here. Or say just Cuda. Along those lines guys, so this car was an original 318 car. It didn't have body reinforcements. It was just a plain Jane car. I think it was like a light blue metallic with a white vinyl top. So what we're doing now, since we're converting to a Cuda, we're actually going to reinforce the car. So I realized this a little late in the game when I was putting the floor pan. This is the time where they're gonna have to reinforce the car to accommodate a 440, which we're gonna put in this car, which the 440 is right here underneath this bag. And Well, along those lines, guys, we actually had to reinforce the car. So I had to order the material because we are budgeting right now because it's coronavirus, guys. So I had to buy this material, and I got to get this material to get bent to make the front torque boxes and the subframe connectors. I could have gone ahead, guys, and ordered the material, but you know, I didn't want to spend $500, $600 on material when I could just spend $40 and make everything myself. We got the templates, we cut everything out, and we actually installed one torque box already. As you guys can see in the car, all these burn marks right there. We welded one already. And the torque boxes are on already. My first attempt on the front torque boxes was kind of a fail. Kind of messed up a lot, so I had to do it again. Let's see my work, guys. What do you guys think? I had to get a hole saw to make these holes perfectly. I think these are 7/8. That's what I ended up choosing. That's what I could figure out was closer to the factory stuff, factory style. But I tried to mimic these almost identical to the original ones, besides an actual bend right here, which I didn't think it was really necessary. They almost look identical to the original factory ones. On the bottom side, just put a few spot welds, and in the back, the rear torque box comes on the 440 cars and the Hemi cars, and also this plate. So I know I'm gonna put some power in this car in the future, so might as well reinforce it now while I can. This one it wasn't that difficult. It was the easiest out of all of them. The front one was really hard. It just took a lot of time, but overall that's how it looks. The issue that I really had, and I wasn't really sure I was even gonna consider putting this on because I already had the torque boxes, was the subframe connector. I could have just left the car alone like this because factory with the subframe, with the torque boxes, would have been strong enough, but just in case I want to start going with a higher horsepower, like 500, 600, 700 horsepower, you know, I wanted to make sure that this car could handle that. Before this was on, that's pretty much how it looked. You just see that gap from the front subframe to the back. There's nothing really there supporting it, and it makes a lot of noise now like that. You know, it's not really strong, and it's real sensitive area, because that's one of the reasons why I ended up replacing the floor pans, because this was all dented up and rusted. And if I put these on, as you guys can see right here, that is solid. So I'm pretty pleased with the fitment and the final product, and it looks really good. And I'm really happy that I saved a lot of money doing it. All that's left now will be finishing that subframe connector, connecting this side to this side, installing these seat support brackets, which go right here. One's right there, and the other one is right there. And I didn't want to weld this one yet because I wanted to put this on first and see how much space I had to make sure that this is in the closest possible factory location that it can be. By taking out the rear differential, I did notice some other areas that I didn't finish welding, so I did put a lot of spot welds on the bottom of the floor pan for the trunk. You guys can see some of the little areas that I did weld a little bit more, but I was just trying to make sure that everything was buttoned up. I didn't leave anything, I didn't miss anything, and I put some more welds on this the fuel tank strap, I think, fuel tank support strap. I put some more welds there, and I did notice some areas that needed to be welded over here. So I've been working on this car non-stop, guys, because I really need to finish this thing. I'm just tired of looking at it, just sitting here, and the progress isn't going fast enough. So I just been going at 100% rate, you know, just trying to do as much as I can. So the other thing, you know, I had to make a little bit of an alignment adjustment, because when I was measuring this point to the leaf spring hanger in the back, I did notice that it was off like 3/8 of an inch. So I actually had to get a sledgehammer and knock it right here to straighten it out. And I did several measurements from this point on to the front subframe, and everything I think is squared now. So we have no more issues with alignment here, and I actually caught me off guard when I took off the leaf spring, because I wasn't even sure that problem was there. And I used the same template from the driver's side torque box to make the passenger's torque box, so I knew it was nice and square. So when I actually initially installed it, this was sticking out too much. The last thing to do, well, the few last things to do, is just finish up all this sheet metal that I bought and actually cut that out. So let's get out of this car real quick. Oh, watch my head. And let's continue on cutting out this subframe connector, and let's install it. All right, we finally got this cut out, so everything's looking good. I already cleaned up all the edges. Now it's time to actually try this on and see how it looks on the car. Overall, it's not too bad. Just make some minor adjustments, and then after that, I'm gonna go ahead and weld it. If we can get it look like that one, everything's gonna be perfect. Let's go ahead and make the adjustments we gotta make, and that's it. All right, guys, it's the next day, so I continue working on the car. I'm pretty much done with reinforcing the car, but you know, it was getting pretty late, so I wasn't really recording anything else. But let me show you guys exactly where I'm at with this car, so you guys can see for yourselves I kind of want to say I'm completely done. There's just a few little areas that need to be touched up, but everything's welded up. It looks pretty amazing, guys. This car now, I would say it's capable of handling a lot more horsepower now without having to worry about bending anything or damaging the frame. So besides cleaning up the welds, just a few more things to do. I already installed the bracing for the seats. I installed the Ebrake cable. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. Maybe scoot up a little bit better. But that's done right there. Everything had to be aligned perfectly. So I'd say it's looking pretty good. There's just a lot of weld marks everywhere. I need to get a grinder and just clean everything up, like all this right here. When I welded the floor pan to the original floor pan, a bit more grinding right there. Pretty much everywhere, guys, that I've welded, some areas just to be cleaned up. Like add a little bit more weld right here. I'm not sure you guys can see that, but for the rear torque box. And then still looking at the rear torque box on the passenger side. You guys see this little gap right here? I feel like this is pretty strong already because we're grabbing the bottom of the floor pan and the side of the frame rail. I think I'm gonna try to box this in all the way right here to the top, and it's just gonna make everything a lot stronger because the rear torque boxes didn't really come up to here. This is more like a hybrid of the original torque boxes for the Barracuda and the aftermarket ones that tie into the side of the frame rail. So the ones that I decided to go with, the ones that I made, the only area that's going to be a little issue is right here. So I'm just going to make a little panel to install here, tack it all up, and that should be it with that. And with this side, it's the same thing on this side. You guys can see right there too. It's just a little bit of gap. So once I cover those, that's going to be completely it. There's nothing else that needs to be welded underneath the car pertaining to the floor pan. All right, so when those rear torque boxes are completed and I fill in those gaps, then we're going to be continue on to this rear package tray. And I'm really considering actually having to take this off to straighten it out and put this panel that I made. And I do have it somewhere up here. So this is the part that's missing on the rear package tray. And we're going to be putting that on there, but I think if I really want this to look good, I'm going to have to actually take this off, straighten it out, and butt weld this into that right there, fill in those gaps, and then weld back up. That's going to be a lot of work in that alone, but I think after that, that's going to be the end of it. When it comes to the major welding and the major fabrication I'll be doing, that's going to be it. Well, now you guys see why I haven't really been uploading videos, because I've really been working on this car non-stop because I'm a man on a mission. I really want to get this done. So anyways, guys, hope you guys like this quick update I did for you guys. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys till next time.